Welcome back to Days of... Today we will learn about the explosive controversy that has rocked Salem behind the scenes. Veteran actress Suzanne Rogers has unleashed her fury against the show's writers over what she considers to be one of the most disrespectful storylines in her remarkable 52-year career. The legendary actress takes a stand against creative disaster. For over 5 decades, Suzanne Rogers has been the heart and soul of Salem as the beloved Maggie Horton. But recent events have pushed this seasoned professional to her breaking point. The actress, who won the very first Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress in 1978, has never been one to shy away from defending her character's integrity. However, the introduction of Konstantin Meliunis into Maggie's romantic orbit has sparked an unprecedented behind-the-scenes battle that threatens to overshadow even the most dramatic on-screen storylines. Rogers didn't mince words when she revealed her absolute disgust with the writing team's decision to pair her character with the manipulative Greek businessman. "This is the one storyline that I felt didn't serve the character at all," she declared with unmistakable passion during her candid interview. The veteran actress went on to describe how the very thought of pretending romantic attraction toward Konstantin made her stomach turn, explaining that coming to work became a daily struggle against her professional instincts. Victor Kyriakis, the irreplaceable love that writers tried to erase. The core of Rogers' anger stems from what she perceives as a deliberate attempt to diminish the sacred bond between Maggie and her late husband Victor Kyriakis, portrayed by the legendary John Aniston. This wasn't just any ordinary soap opera romance. Victor and Maggie's relationship represented one of daytime television's most compelling love stories, spanning over a decade of passionate storytelling that captivated millions of viewers worldwide. Victor was the love of Maggie's life, Rogers emphasized with fierce protectiveness, her voice trembling with emotion as she defended the memory of both the character and Aniston himself. The actress made it crystal clear that any attempt to replace Victor so soon after his death was not only creatively bankrupt but personally offensive to her as a performer who had invested years in building that relationship's authenticity. Rogers painted a vivid picture of her daily torment, describing how she would arrive at the NBC studios each morning knowing she would have to fake romantic chemistry with an actor playing a character she fundamentally despised. "I would have had a hard time coming to work and pretending that I was attracted to this man, or maybe falling in love with him," she confessed, revealing the depth of her professional and personal conflict. The aggressive intruder, why Konstantin never stood a chance. Beyond her loyalty to Victor's memory, Rogers identified specific character flaws in Konstantin that made the romantic pairing not just inappropriate but completely unbelievable. She described the Greek con artist as possessing an overly aggressive nature that would have immediately triggered Maggie's well-developed survival instincts. This wasn't speculation. Rogers knows her character better than anyone, having portrayed her through countless storylines involving danger, deception, and heartbreak. "Maggie is no wilting violet," Rogers declared with pride, emphasizing her character's strength and resilience. The actress painted a picture of a woman who had survived attempted murder, family tragedies, and business conspiracies. Someone who would instantly recognize a predator like Konstantin and respond accordingly. The idea that such a perceptive, experienced woman would fall for obvious manipulation tactics was, in Rogers' opinion, an insult to both the character and the audience's intelligence. The actress went into extraordinary detail about Konstantin's pathetic attempts at wooing Maggie, including his habit of bringing cheap gifts that appeared to come from basement sales and discount stores. Rogers couldn't contain her disgust as she described these scenes, explaining how the character she had crafted over 5 decades would never be impressed by such obvious penny-pinching from someone supposedly wealthy enough to be Victor's equal. Behind-the-scenes battle, when stars clash with writers. What makes Rogers' rebellion even more remarkable is her willingness to directly confront the show's writing team about their creative decisions. This wasn't a passive complaint whispered in dressing room corners. The actress actively argued with the writers, presenting detailed character analysis and emotional reasoning for why the Konstantin storyline was fundamentally flawed. "I kept fighting them on it," Rogers revealed, painting a picture of heated script meetings where she refused to simply accept the writer's vision without challenge. She explained to the creative team that Maggie wouldn't easily let go after losing the love of her life, providing psychological depth and historical context that the writers had apparently overlooked in their rush to create new dramatic complications. The writers' response was predictably dismissive and corporate. They told her to follow the script and do her job well. This patronizing attitude toward a veteran actress with over half a century of experience only intensified Rogers' frustration and strengthened her resolve to speak out publicly about the creative failures she was witnessing firsthand. The ultimate vindication: Constantine's deserved demise. Rogers experienced what she described as overwhelming relief when the storyline finally concluded with Constantine's death. The actress didn't hide her satisfaction when discussing how Xander Cook ultimately threw the manipulative Greek out of Salem and out of Maggie's life forever. This resolution validated everything Rogers had been arguing about, that Constantine was never worthy of replacing Victor, and that Maggie deserved better than a discount store Romeo with transparent ulterior motives. The veteran actress's public criticism represents more than just one performer's dissatisfaction with a single storyline. It highlights the ongoing tension between creative executives who view characters as plot devices and veteran actors who understand the deeper psychological and emotional foundations that make those characters believable and beloved by audiences. Rogers' courageous stand serves as a powerful reminder that even in the corporate-controlled world of daytime television, authentic artistry and character integrity still matter more than convenient plot twists designed to generate temporary drama at the expense of long-term storytelling credibility. Yesterday's day of reckoning in the jury room. A slow-burn drama that turned into a roaring fire. If you grew up watching Perry Mason in black and white and still set your DVR for every episode of Days of Our Lives, you know that nothing gets the heart racing faster than a battle of wits in a courtroom. Yesterday's installment of the Johnny DiMera murder trial delivered exactly that kind of pulse-pounding excitement. Yet all the fireworks took place behind the closed doors of the jury room. What started as a routine vote quickly spiraled into a showdown every bit as intense as 12 Angry Men, and by the end of the hour viewers were left clutching their recliners, wondering who would blink first, the fiery Leo or the steadfast Adam. Let's slow things down, pour ourselves a cup of decaf, and revisit every twist and turn. Whether you missed yesterday's broadcast or simply want to savor the drama one more time, the following play-by-play will guide you through each raised eyebrow, each whispered aside, and each thunderous outburst. Buckle up. This recap runs long, because when a soap brings the heat, we refuse to leave out a single spark. The calm before the storm. The episode opened with the 12 jurors filing back into their deliberation room after a long night of quarantine at the Salem Inn. For those who haven't been following every day, the judge ordered the jury sequestered so that no outside influence could sway their decision in Johnny DiMera's high-profile case. Our camera panned across a familiar set of faces. Teachers, retirees, a grocery clerk, and, prominently, two young men who couldn't have seemed more different. Leo Stark, sharp suit, sharper tongue, reputation for dramatic flair. He exuded the air of a carnival ringmaster forced to sit still against his will. Adam Hayes, soft-spoken substitute teacher, Leo's temporary roommate during quarantine, owner of more cardigans than anyone should admit on daytime TV. As the bailiff closed the heavy wooden door, foreperson Marcia called for the first ballot. Each juror wrote a verdict, guilty or not guilty, on a slip of paper. One by one, they folded their votes and dropped them into the metal box. Outside, lightning flashed, setting the mood. Inside, tension crackled just as powerfully. 11-1. When Marcia read the results aloud, the numbers astonished even the most seasoned soap aficionado. 11 votes for not guilty, 1 lonely vote for guilty. The holdout? None other than Adam, the mild-mannered man everyone assumed would go with the flow. Leo's reaction was immediate and fierce. His neck stiffened, his nostrils flared, and his voice dropped to a chilling whisper. "Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need a break," he suggested in a tone that made it clear this was not a suggestion at all. The group, already hungry, agreed to pause for lunch. Yet Leo placed a firm hand on Adam's shoulder and asked him to stay behind. Private confrontation. In the now empty jury room, sunlight streamed through the blinds, leaving slatted shadows across the floor like prison bars. Adam remained seated, hands folded, the picture of polite resolve. Leo leaned in, eyes narrowing. Adam, Leo began quietly, I know Johnny DiMera did not shoot his father. We all know it. 11 intelligent adults see the truth. Why can't you? To his credit, Adam didn't quiver. Respectfully, Leo, you can't bully me into changing my mind, he replied. His voice was gentle yet firm, reminiscent of a kindergarten teacher instructing rambunctious children to settle down after recess. The evidence points one way for you and another for me. I think Johnny's guilty, and I'm prepared to explain why. Then came the spark that lit the powder keg. Adam, searching for examples to bolster his reasoning, cited an episode of Law and Order where a seemingly innocent heir turned out to be a cold-blooded killer. For Leo, a soap legend who prides himself on intellect, hearing a primetime police procedural invoked as jury guidance was too much. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! He bellowed, voice echoing off marble walls. If looks could kill, Leo's glare would have ended the trial right there. Adam flinched but did not retreat. He merely folded his note cards and replied, I'll convince the others, even if it takes all day. The lunch break that was anything but relaxing. The rest of the jurors trickled back in with sandwiches, salads, and small talk. Conversations about grandchildren and cruise packages died down as soon as they noticed the frosty air between Leo and Adam. Not wanting to fuel gossip, Leo forced a smile, but his fingers drummed the table like distant war drums. Marcia called the meeting to order once more. All right, everybody. Let's hear each other out. She gestured for Adam to speak first. Adam takes the floor. Adam stood up, straightened his tie, and addressed the group in measured tones perfect for an audience over 65. Slow, deliberate, polite. He began by questioning the hypnosis testimony provided by Dr. Marlena Evans, Salem's beloved psychiatrist. Hypnosis is not always reliable, he explained, citing articles from medical journals he had printed out. Under hypnotic suggestion, witnesses can insert false memories. We learned in class that the mind, eager to please, can make connections that were never truly there. That comment was akin to poking a lion with a sharp stick. Leo slammed his palm on the table. Dr. Evans is no quack, he shouted, pronouncing every syllable. She's helped half this town recover from trauma, and we'd all be worse off without her. But Adam wasn't finished. He leaned forward, voice trembling with conviction. Salem's wealthy and powerful can't keep escaping justice. If Johnny's last name were Smith instead of DiMera, we wouldn't be bending over backward to excuse him. A murmur rippled around the room, some in agreement, others taken aback. For the first time, doubt flickered in a few of those 10 confident faces. Leo strikes back. Not one to lose ground, Leo shifted tactics. He reminded the jury of Johnny's alibi, the ballistic report that failed to match the bullet to his handgun, and the eyewitness who saw another figure fleeing the scene. His presentation was slick, sprinkled with wry humor that coaxed smiles from several jurors. Grandparents in the audience at home likely felt their heads bobbing. Leo did make a compelling case. The second vote. At last, Marcia proposed another ballot. This time the slips revealed a dramatic swing. 6 votes for guilty, 6 for not guilty. The room collectively gasped, and on couches across America, viewers surely clutched their Afghans. Adam cracked a rare grin, whispering to the juror beside him, halfway there. The turning point speech. Knowing momentum had shifted, Adam delivered one final oration that would have made Henry Fonda proud. He spoke of reasonable doubt, reminding everyone that it must be more than a suspicion but less than absolute certainty. He cited how easy it is for fear to sway hearts. Fear of disappointing a powerful family, fear of looking foolish, fear of getting stuck in this jury room forever. Then he turned to Leo. "Your passion is admirable," Adam conceded. "But passion alone can't erase facts. The facts, as I see them, show Johnny owning motive, opportunity, and the skill with firearms he learned at the DiMera hunting lodge." It was a respectful yet piercing rebuttal, and it nudged one more undecided juror his way. Leo calls for one last vote. Sweat glistened on Leo's brow. He knew a second majority for guilty could lead straight to a verdict or, at minimum, a deeper standoff. His jaw tightened as he signaled Marcia. "Another vote, please." And that, dear friends, is where the episode ended. On a cliffhanger that left plates of untouched potato salad sweating beside melted cups of gelatin dessert. Would Adam steer the panel to unanimity? Would Leo drag them back to his side? Or would the judge declare a mistrial, freeing Johnny DiMera to walk out of court with his signature smirk? Why this matters. Beyond the spectacle, yesterday's episode offered a thoughtful meditation on conscience versus conformity. Issues that resonate with viewers of every generation, but perhaps especially with those who have lived long enough to know how rare it is to stand alone for what you believe. For older fans, the scenario evoked memories of classic reel-to-reel dramas. Henry Fonda fanning himself in a sweltering room, Roseanne delivering impassioned closing arguments in Matlock, and even real-life trials watched on daytime news. Looking ahead, previews for today's episode promise even more upheaval. We see Adam wiping tears from his eyes, Leo pacing like a caged tiger, and Dr. Marlena Evans herself storming into the courthouse hallway, perhaps ready to defend her professional honor. The final shot shows Johnny clasping a rosary, suggesting that, for the DiMera heir, prayer may be his last refuge.